Okay, this is August 31st, last day of August, and the first day of school for some folks. I'm going to start this out with just showing you how I get to the tutorials, because some people get lost. Oh, let's feed the fish. I had a little 3-year-old girl over here, Gracie, and we were feeding the fish. Okay, I'm looking for a set of tutorials that are in that they're in the Biz archive, because it was done in 2003. Things 2003 and earlier are found in the Biz archive. And since it's part of sculpting, Poodle with a mohawk, I'm mad as heck, and I'm not going to take it anymore, says Poodle with a mohawk. Okay, since it's in the sculpting section, I go there. And since it is part of the sculpting index for 2003, I go there. Okay, and this is the sculpting section that I believe needs to be refreshed. Okay, and this is about an eyeball cane. And let me see if I have. Okay. In doing an eyeball, I thought, well, first we have to do a pupil, but pupils have a reflection. So I thought, well, maybe this is a good way to put a reflection in a pupil. So I did this straight stack, cut it in a curve with a tissue blade, and then cut it again, so I would get like a those like weird smile, and surrounded that with black for a pupil. All right, and then I'm going to go to the eyeball cane that I'm going to be using today. And dig it, this was done in 2003. It is 2011. I still have this cane. I still have some of this cane left over. Okay, now I will show you how to do this loose blend. Okay, it's the easy breezy blend, but you don't do it until it's all mixed. You put black on one side, because that black side is going to end up next to the iris. I mean, next to the pupil. Okay, so you do a loose blend, you stagger stack it like a stair step, pinch it into a wedge. Oh, and I put some white on the edge here, but pinch it into a wedge, and then make, if you have enough wedges, you make a circle. Okay, so that's how you stagger stack something. And see, because it was a loose blend, those colors are not fully homogenized, but it really makes a really nifty design like this over here. I mean, I'm just like so thrilled with it. Okay, this is also part of the eyeball demo. I know this looks a little peculiar, but this is how I make eyelids, by just cutting cutting a circle in half. And this is the eyeball iris, and this is pretty much full size. Okay, so let's take a look at, okay, going from here. Oh, actually, it's this is the cane that I have left over, because it has the gold edge, purple with the gold edge. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this in the Kai face that I did with the leaf. Okay, so you do a loose blend, you do the stagger stack, you make a wedge, you make enough wedges, you make a circle. There's a penny for size reference, but we can always reduce it down to like little bitty size. Okay, so this was a full-size head. I have a half face mask form that I used. So I put, and so eyes are not flat, they're rounded. So we have to make sure that the whites of the eyes are going to be rounded. We put it in, and I just took a slice of this eyeball iris and I plopped it on top of these, and it's looking, it says, the faces always look startled without eyelids. Ain't that the truth? Okay, the large circle cutter, you don't cut it directly in half because you have more eyelid at the top than you have at the bottom. Unless you have, like, you know, Samsonite bags underneath your eyes like I do. And you add extra. And then you put, like I showed in the picture before, you put you know, some circle around here, half circle around there, and we're getting the eyeball. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. This is the my site, norgene.com, Biz Archive Sculpt Eyeball, April 24th, 03, and I still have this purple iris cane left over, and I'm going to use it today. Okay, this is from 2003, and this is part of the eyeball webcam demo. And see, there's like it's a little dry, a little crack. I mean, you know, God, it's like 8 years ago, and it's still, we can still fool around with it. This is a partially reduced eyeball iris cane, and I say partially reduced because we need to reduce it to a size that's small enough to put into this face cane. And so what I end up doing is just squeeze and roll and squeeze and roll and keep on squeezing and keep on rolling. But now this end part is going to be pinched because we're going to pinch it because what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce it and then I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to cut it off because I want the gold edging to be on the iris. Okay. I'm going to reduce it to a cone, and then I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to reduce this side of the cone because we're going to use the center of this bicone iris, and we're going to poke it into a mound of white clay. And you know, when you think you got it small enough, it's still going to be hella big. I mean, if his irises are really big, it makes him look babyish, because babies have, their irises are adult size, but their eyeballs are their eyeball socket. So I'm going to use some leftover pearl. We don't need very much, actually. Their eyeball socket is small, but the iris is adult size, and that's why for baby faces the irises seem really big. Well, it's really big in comparison to the rest of the face, when the rest of the face, and see, I'm going to do it in another bicone. Focus, please, my stupid camera. Okay, I'm going to do a bicone again, like that. I'm going to cut it in half because he has two eyes, obviously. Then, now this is a little bit of the tricky part. Here's his face, and this is where we gotta open up his eyes. Yikes! Open my eyes! Oops. We're gonna give him new upper eyelids anyway. Okay. Open my eyes! Yikes! Maybe we should just cut that off so we can have some space to move. Now, if I goof this up, you're just going to have to be patient, because I haven't done an eyeball and a little face like this in a long time. Okay, so we have a hole. Okay, the thing about eyes is that eyes have an eye width, and a face is 5 eye widths across, and the eye is 1 eye width away from the other eye. That's how you can sort of like figure it out. So we're putting the pearl and into the socket, and we're pressing down in the corners and around like that, because eyeballs are round, they're not flat. Okay, so there we have a blank eyeball. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a hole right there. Okay, because hopefully, okay, and then we're gonna have to reduce this. I'm gonna reduce this iris just even more than before, because his face is really small. Half the time I have more than I possibly need. Okay, so we're gonna taper off the ends because it's easier to bury the iris in the eyeball when we taper off the ends. I'm working with a piece of mouse poop. Okay. Let's hope it's not too big. Well, maybe we can use a small one. Well, we'll just take a chance. Taking a chance. Okay. Can we see this? Putting it into the eye. And it's too big! Silly goose. Let's try the small ones that we cut off at the ends. It's still too big. Arg. Okay. Tapering it off again. See, I don't script these things, these tutorials, and just like say, oh, it just comes out perfect the first time. No. I gotta dick around just like you guys do. Okay. Okay. That looks a little better. Yeah. We just need it. Now the trick would be to make them match. Okay, so you poke your clay shaper into the corner of his eye. Now see how startled he looks? He goes, oh, I'm so startled. Okay, so I did a little prep, and I made, I stacked some sandwich cane, and so we can make a quick eyelid, and it will be very dramatic. There we go. A dramatic eyelid. Maybe that's too big, huh? What we have? Something smaller. Okay, this is smaller. Okay, let's see. Okay. Well, that'll just have to do because we're at 9 minutes. But anyway, that gives you a rough idea of how to put an eyeball in a molded face. And we'll come back to him, my little Kai face, my one-eyed Kai face. Now if he was a pirate, we just put a patch over the other one and call it a day. Arg, arg. Okay. Well, there we go. He's a one-eyed leaf-faced Kai cane. Let's see how it looks in profile. Help me! I'm falling! Ah!